It was the year 2000 when I moved into a second-floor apartment in East Brunswick, New Jersey. Nothing fancy, beige walls, slanted floors, windows that stuck when it rained. But it was mine. I was 22, broke, and riding high on the idea of independence. My belongings came in 10 boxes and a borrowed truck. I had a wooden canopy bed, a mismatched set of dishes, and my cat, Jazz, who hated everyone except me, and maybe canned tuna. That first night, after everything was dragged in and stabbed against the walls, I collapsed on the futon and let the quiet settle in. That's when I heard it. A soft, robotic chirp. Ee-ee! Me love you. I sat straight up. It was faint, muffled, coming from one of the sealed boxes in the corner. My stomach turned. I recognized that voice. The Furby. Sure enough, in a box labeled, "Old stuff, don't need," I found my childhood toy. Eyes half-lidded, mouth agape, like it had just woken up from a 10-year coma. I cracked open the battery compartment, expecting to find it loaded with ancient, leaking AA's. But I'd only had one battery inside. Furbies needed 2 to work. I pulled it out, tossed the toy across the room, and told myself it was a fluke. I didn't sleep much that night. Over the next few days, little things started to bother me. Every evening, around the same time, a burning smell would drift through the vents, sour, oily, like someone lit a pile of microwaved fish on fire and seasoned it with regret. I figured it had to be my downstairs neighbor. I knocked on his door one night, trying to be polite. "Hey, sorry to bother you. Just wondering, do you cook a lot of seafood?" He blinked like I'd asked him if he ate gravel. "I don't cook," he said, "at all," and shut the door. By the end of the week, things started to move. I had a glass display case for my tiny porcelain animal figurines, 5 in total. I'd arranged them carefully, all facing out. A fox, an owl, a deer, a cat, and a frog. One morning, I found them all turned around, backs facing out. I laughed it off. Maybe I'd bunked the case, or rearranged them. The next day, turned again. Every day. Backs turned. Every day. Jazz had no interest in them. He was too busy doing something much weirder. He kept jumping to the top of a canopy bed. Not the mattress, the top frame, 5.5 feet above the bed. A heavy, smooth piece of oak. I had no idea how he got up there. He'd crouched like a gargoyle, eyes wide, staring at the ceiling. That's when the bed shaking started. The first time, I thought it was a truck passing by, but the building didn't rumble, only the bed. It vibrated like something underneath it was trying to escape. It would happen every night, always between 2 and 3 a.m. Eventually, I stopped sleeping. Then came the worst part. I was lying on my side one night, curled under the blanket, pretending I wasn't terrified, when I felt it. Pressure on the mattress behind me. A shift. A weight. Something got in bed with me. I didn't turn around. I couldn't. My brain screamed Jazz. Just the cat. It's just the cat. But Jazz meowed from a hallway. That thing behind me, it pressed closer. I felt fingers graze my back. A gentle, lingering stroke. Not a cat. Not even close. I screamed and dove out of the bed. No one there. I never turned the lights off again. One night, desperate, I knocked on the neighbor's door again. "Are you sure you don't cook?" I asked. "I keep smelling burning fish or something." He looked at me for a long time, then said quietly, "Lady lived above me before you. She smelled it too." I swallowed. What happened to her? He shrugged. "Left in the middle of the night. Didn't take her things. I tried to rationalize it. Mold? Gas leak? Stress? But then came the footsteps. Light, deliberate, pacing above my bedroom at night. I lived on the top floor. Jazz stopped sleeping in the room. He'd stare at the door and growl. One night, he swatted at something I couldn't see, then hissed and bolted under the couch. I found scratches on the hardwood. 5 narrow lines, as if something had crawled out from under the bed. That was the night I broke. I packed a bag, left Jazz with my mom, and slept in my car. I stayed with friends for a few nights. When I returned to grab more of my things, I found a note under my pillow. Just one word. Stay. Written in my own handwriting. I broke the lease and never went back. The landlord didn't fight me on it. She even offered to help me carry things to the car. "You're not the first," she said softly. "That place holds on." I didn't ask what she meant. I didn't want to know. I threw out the Furby, burned the sheets. I still have the figurines, but I keep them in a sealed box. I never took another second-floor apartment again. I never let Jazz sleep in a separate room. And every now and then, I swear I can smell it again. Burning fish and old pennies, drifting through vents that don't connect to anything